$1.33. Well, for more, Anne LeBoutillier, Director of Asia Pacific Tea Soja and Associates, joins us now from our Singapore studios. Hi, Anne. So what's your outlook now for Singtel?
Well, I think Singtel is doing a lot of the right things in the marketplace in order to succeed. I mean, they obviously, well, clearly they are. They have recognized early that their local market is going to be, the domestic market in Singapore is going to be a tough one to compete in terms of building on what they've already established here. And they've, as a result, gone into a more global regional strategy that seems to be working for them at this point.
Okay, I mean, Optus clearly is finally starting to deliver. How are their other investments doing?
Their other investments are actually doing much better now. You know, when you invest in a regional telecom, you really have to be looking at a long-term investment and a long-term strategy, which I think probably Singtel represents the strongest company in terms of that long-term strategic interest.
And their internet as well as data revenue declined locally. What should they be doing to try to fend off that type of competition?
Well, really, you know, Singapore is what we call a low population, limited population, high density market. It is a tough market to compete in, and I think all the companies in Singapore are doing their best to provide services that are great for the consumer. It's just a very tough market to compete in because of the limited level of population and the existing already high density in terms of, or penetration in terms of the internet services, cellular services, and of course voice services.
Let's focus back on the external sector. I mean, if that's where growth in the future is going to come from. You mentioned that, look, they're taking a long-term view, which is positive. That's good. But I understand also that if you take a look at the acquisitions or the stakes they have in regional telcos, strategically, there's not a heck of a lot of cohesiveness in it. Is there a clear sense what their game plan is?
It's a very good question, Martin, and I think, you know, I think if Singtel has been criticized for their investments regionally, that is the biggest criticism. They don't make a lot of sense in terms of, you look at cellular holdings, you look at satellite holdings, you look at leased fixed line holdings. Really a large variety of holdings. Some of their companies provide all services, as Singtel itself does. I would say, though, that what they've done is tried to purchase among the top companies in each of the countries that they've purchased in. And I also think that they've looked at markets that show potential for long-term growth, such as the Philippines, Taiwan,
Indonesia.
Thailand, Indonesia. Yeah, so I think they've done a pretty good job in terms of looking at a regional strategy, and I don't know that I have such a problem with the fact that it's not cohesive in terms of the different types of companies, but that is what they have been. If there is criticism of their regional strategy, that has been the criticism.
All right, fair enough.
And the CEO, Lee Hsien Yang, told me when I was speaking with him before that he really did see continued growth in the Australian market. What are your expectations for that market?
I agree. I think the Australian market does present a lot of room for growth. When it comes to teledensity or penetration rates, again, of internet, voice, and cellular, the internet side in particular has a lot of room for growth. That presents global data opportunities, global international data connectivity requirements, and that's a very positive thing for Singtel in terms of growing that market. And when it comes to domestic build-out in Australia, that is still happening, and that's a very positive thing.
All right, sounds good, Anne. We'll have to leave there. Good to talk to you, ma'am. Thanks for dropping by. Anne LeBoutillier, there, Director Asia Pacific at Tea Soja and Associates.